It's been a full 24 hours since the big news dropped, and honestly, it feels like an entire summer has passed in that moment. What's fascinating, though, is that amidst all the chatter and analysis, one crucial truth hasn't been given nearly enough spotlight. None of this, the signings, the trades, the offseason hype would hold any weight without one key player. Yes, I'm talking about TJ Watt. Good Friday morning to everyone tuned into Steelers Nation Central. This is your daily shot of Steelers, delivered fresh every weekday for those who live and breathe football. And hey, if you're into hockey or baseball, don't worry, because around here, we cover Penguins and Pirates just as passionately. Let's break it down. TJ Watt just locked in a 3-year contract extension. Now, don't get it twisted, this extension isn't just about adding years onto a deal that was about to expire. He was already under contract through the 2025 season. What we're looking at is 3 additional years tacked onto that, with a total value of $123 million. $108 million of that fully guaranteed. And here's the kicker. All of this cash is structured to be paid while he's still in his 30s. You can rush ahead and debate the merits of that contract, talk about whether he's being overpaid, or wonder what his value might look like a few years down the line. But let me lay down to non-negotiables. First, as I've been saying for months, this was always the plan. There was never a whisper of a trade or any serious discussion about moving him elsewhere. Both Watt and the Steelers remain laser-focused on one goal, keeping him in Pittsburgh. That single-mindedness is what made this deal happen. Second, imagine if you were sitting in the front office right now. Omar Khan, Mike Tomlin, and E. Whittle, Art Rooney, anyone involved in building this roster. After an off-season where you brought in names like Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey, John Smith, Darius Slay, plus an exciting draft class, and you still had the conviction to part ways with Minkah Fitzpatrick and George Pickens. Try to picture what it would have looked like without TJ Watt. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. You can listen to the skeptics who coldly crunch the numbers and say, he's paid too much, or how valuable will he be in a few years. But if you're operating at ground level, if you're living and breathing Steelers football, you understand something deeper. Omar Khan is carrying the legacy of Kevin Colbert. And that legacy isn't just about assembling talent. It's about honoring the heart and soul of this franchise. It's about building a culture where great players like TJ Watt aren't just assets, they're the embodiment of what the Steelers stand for. Now, picture trying to build this team without TJ. Yeah, you've got Nick Herbig, but Herbig isn't Watt. He'll be the first to admit it himself. Jack Sawyer's here, too. But let's stop pretending that replacing Watt is as simple as slotting in a rookie. Your defense wouldn't be the same. Your team wouldn't be the same. That spark, that feeling that something special is brewing, would be nowhere near what it is now. And I'm not making guarantees about what this team will accomplish in the upcoming season. Neither are the coaches or the front office. They don't know what's possible yet. There's so much new. 9 starters on offense and defense combined are different from last season. That's nearly half the starting lineup. These guys have to gel, figure each other out, learn the strengths and weaknesses on the fly, and face adversity together. There's no snap of the fingers, no instant magic. The Steelers aren't even favorites in their own division. The Ravens earned that spot. They didn't weaken in the offseason either, so this isn't about hyping Pittsburgh into a championship favorite. It's about looking back at what the Steelers did in this chaotic offseason and appreciating how everything hinges on one player, TJ Watt. Without him, all the acquisitions, all the moves would have been tossed out the window, and that was never on the table. Shifting gears, let's talk about the cap situation. A question that's been floating around is whether the TJ Watt deal puts a halt on finding a reliable WR2. The answer, absolutely not. This contract was always going to be structured in a way that wouldn't hamstring the team's salary cap. There's still plenty of room to maneuver. Word is, once all the final details of the contract come out, the Steelers could still have around $20 million in cap space. That's before accounting for the $5 million they need to reserve for mid-season moves because, let's face it, injuries happen, and having the ability to reinforce the roster when the playoffs come knocking is crucial. That kind of cap flexibility opens doors for acquiring a solid WR2, whether through free agency or trade. It's not about landing another superstar like DK Metcalf, though that would be nice. It's about finding someone reliable who can step in and run crisp routes. Someone who can fill that role if Metcalf goes down. There are options out there, and the team is patiently waiting for the right moment to strike. As training camp and preseason progress, more candidates will surface. And the Steelers are playing the long game, I have to say. After the roller coaster offseason the Steelers have had, I'm cautiously optimistic. If you've been following closely, you know that I wasn't always sold on some of the moves made, especially at quarterback. But the arrival of Aaron Rodgers, and more importantly, the way he's handled himself, his professionalism, his attitude has softened some of those earlier doubts. It wasn't just Rodgers, though. There were other moments during the offseason that didn't sit right with me, but overall, the direction the team is heading feels steady. And here's what separates Omar Khan from many others in the league: patience. This is a guy who didn't panic after losing Justin Fields. He quickly brought in Mason Rudolph to stabilize things, but didn't rush into rash decisions. He waited out the Aaron Rodgers situation even though the head coach was pushing hard for that signing. He resisted the pressure to trade assets, to move up in the draft for Caleb Johnson, choosing instead to trust his own evaluation and hold onto valuable picks. And when Donald Penn got hurt during OTAs, he made a swift but smart move to bring in John Smith to shore up the offensive line. This isn't a front office that's throwing darts in the dark. It's a group methodically shaping a roster with a long-term vision. Yes, there's more to be done. Adding some safety depth would be a welcome move, just to be cautious, but looking at what's been accomplished so far, you can't deny the progress. The Steelers are no longer a team just hoping to make the playoffs. They're building a foundation that could take them deep into the postseason. And TJ Watt remains the cornerstone of that foundation. Without him, none of these plans would hold water. As we dive deeper into the offseason moves, it's impossible to ignore the ripple effect of signing TJ Watt long-term. This wasn't just about locking down a defensive superstar. It was a statement from the front office that the Steelers are fully committed to building a championship-caliber roster around their core leaders. The addition of veterans like Aaron Rodgers and Darius Slay alongside young stars like DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey signals a clear intent to compete, not just show up, but the heart of that plan. The anchor holding it all together remains TJ Watt. His presence on the field elevates everyone around him. He's not just a pass rusher or a sack machine. He's the emotional spark, the leader who embodies the grit and toughness that Steelers football demands. When you think about what this team has been through in recent years, the level of transformation they've undergone is remarkable. New faces everywhere, from the draft class to free agent signings. It's a roster reboot in many ways. Yet, the continuity that TJ Watt provides is invaluable. He's a link to the franchise's storied past and a beacon for the future. Guys like him don't come along every season. And that's why Omar Khan and the coaching staff made it a priority to keep him. It's not just about the stats or the highlights, though. Those are incredible. It's about the culture he helps build. When young players see TJ leading by example, giving maximum effort every play, it sets the tone for the entire locker room. One of the most fascinating aspects of this offseason has been watching how the Steelers are balancing youth and experience. They brought in some big names to shore up weak spots, but they also trust the draft picks and the younger players to grow into their roles. It's a delicate balancing act. On one hand, veterans like Rodgers bring leadership and a winning mentality. On the other, rookies like Jack Sawyer and John Smith bring energy and potential. But no matter how talented these newcomers are, none of it clicks without time to develop chemistry. Football is the ultimate team sport, and no player can do it all alone. The Steelers know this, which is why patience is the mantra heading into training camp. Expectations are realistic, understanding that this team will face growing pains. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling in the NFL world as rumors hint at a possible blockbuster move involving none other than Josh Allen, the star quarterback known for his dynamic play and leadership. According to sources close to the situation, the Pittsburgh Steelers may be on the verge of securing Allen's signature, a development that could shake up the landscape of the league. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere prospect of Allen donning the iconic black and gold jersey has fans and analysts buzzing with excitement and speculation. Josh Allen has been one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the league, commanding attention with his strong arm, mobility, and ability to make clutch plays. His tenure with the Buffalo Bills saw him rise to elite status, transforming the franchise and making multiple deep playoff runs naturally. The possibility of him shifting to Pittsburgh, a city with a rich football history and a passionate fan base hungry for a return to glory, has sparked intense conversations about what this could mean for the Steelers' future. Pittsburgh, traditionally known for its tough defenses and legendary quarterbacks like Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger, has been searching for the next franchise signal caller to lead them back to championship contention. The Steelers' recent seasons have been marked by inconsistency at the quarterback position, leaving fans eager for a star who can both electrify the offense and inspire the locker room. Josh Allen fits that mold perfectly, bringing not only talent but also a winning mentality and a charismatic presence. The buzz intensified when reports surfaced that Allen was already in Pittsburgh, reportedly meeting with the Steelers' front office to discuss terms. While no contract has been announced, insiders say negotiations are progressing swiftly, fueling hope that a deal might be imminent. This potential move raises questions about the current quarterback situation in Pittsburgh and what the team might be willing to give up to make such a splash. Of course, with rumors come the inevitable questions. What does this mean for the Steelers' current roster? Could Josh Allen adapt to the Steelers' system seamlessly? How would this impact the AFC landscape if Allen were to lead Pittsburgh? The Steelers have always been a team built on grit and discipline, and Allen's aggressive playing style could either complement or clash with that identity. Yet, given his proven leadership and adaptability, many believe this pairing could be the perfect match. While the NFL is no stranger to surprises, a move of this magnitude would undoubtedly be one of the biggest storylines of the offseason. Fans across the league are watching closely, eager to see if the Steelers can pull off what could be a game-changing acquisition. Until official word is released, all eyes remain glued to Pittsburgh, where Josh Allen's arrival might just signal the dawn of a new era for the storied franchise. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.